What's that in the deep, dark cyber night? It's Wandering Monster Roll Initiative!
Hello and welcome once again to Wandering Monster, America's test table where we don't play test games, we stress test them. My name is John Baldisberger.
I am Charles R. Bernard.
I'm Bridget Brave.
Ian SerVaas.
Mr. Paschke.
And it occurs to me that I'm one of the only, Charles and I are the only people that say I am. The new three, the new triumvirate, the Trinity that is one, they all just state their names. I am now concerned that I am being bamboozled, that you are not Bridget, Ian, and Charles Paschke. I now think that you are just saying those people's names.
It's almost like you're trying to parse Latin here, John. Like, you're not using the right tense of I am Ian SerVaas. Like, all right, Mr. Quid Pro Blow Me.
No. This tracks because by saying I am, it means that I believe that I am a entity separate and extant from everyone else. Whereas if I am just stating this frame of existence that I am saying I am a part of you, dear viewer. And dear cast, and I am not separate. Yeah. We are all one in Ottman's embrace.
Yes, yeah, audience, we're all in you.
With this new understanding of saying I am, or just your name, to say that we're embracing the audience and each other, let me just say, I am John Baldisberger. On that note,
he is the great I am.
Have you ever looked at your role-playing game and said, this is cool, but what if instead it was
cooler
5e or a D20 system, and also I want it to be in a modern city where I can hit people with this baseball bat that makes them poop themselves?
That last bit for sure, yeah.
And honestly, that's what I'm one with. I'm one with that struggle, that question of what if I could roll a D20 and then hit someone with a stick that makes them poop themselves. Friends, there's only one way to figure that out. Tonight we're playing Cyberblood. That's about my knowledge of what's happening. So Ian, take it from here, friend.
Well done,
absolutely.
John.
So Cyberblood is getting ready to kickstart, and it is also supported by our friends at World of Game Design, product of Michael Scott and other people. This is if you were the person that lived in that neo-tech noir future bubblegum pop realm of like the 80s to 90s, if you were really influenced by things like Bubblegum Crisis, Appleseed, any kind of Gundam-y aspect, Dirty Pair, Flash, The Matrix, all those things, Shadowrun, some people have probably heard of that one. If you really like that kind of gritty but still flashy, pop-driven cyberpunk future, that's what this really kind of scratches that itch. It has kind of a cinematic feel to the character design with some really fast and fun elements that bring your character to life, as well as like a little character guide of like how to personify this, kind of given the milieu of all these different influences. And it has a very robust appendix at the end. This is really kind of gives you that opportunity. The alpha is available right now. If you go to cyberblood.net, you can download the 3 books that kind of make their holy trinity. There is an introductory module of which we're going to be playing a slice of tonight. There is a gear guide, and then the core book that you can see that once this gets really polished and really built out, because this gives you just a sample of those rules, it really is going to be something that really hits that niche genre, which is something that we've got a lot of gritty, dark sci-fi. This is kind of the flashy, punchy, cinematic stuff that a lot of us grew up watching, like cartoons or seeing those kind of cult movies. So,
and for those of you playing at home, tonight's words from Ian are milieu, robust, and niche.
So remember, when you hear the secret word, you have to scream, kids.
Take your shirt off.
Why do you think I wore buttons?
That's right.
Don't forget, if you do say all those 3 words, you get them stamped. You can redeem it for a prize at the gift shop in the Alamo basement.
That's right. Go straight to that Alamo basement, and you can ask the tour guide lady.
I'll
and,
be waiting for you there.
Large Marge just made a cameo.
With the fries. I'll get you next time.
A gadget. I love it. I love it.
That's a good Dr. Claw voice. That's a good
It is. I too bad I put my cat up because that would have been a perfect opportunity. So if you have a cat at home, do stroke it and then play John's sultry voice.
Did we ever see Dr. Claw on that show?
No.
Did you ever get a face reveal? That's
he had an action figure
in the Broderick film, didn't they?
No, there was an action figure. The action figure had a face, and when they sold it in stores, they put a sticker over it. So they at one point planned on revealing Dr. Claw, but they never did it.
Oh wow.
That's pretty cool. That is
Spoilers, it was Shredder all along.
It reminds me of
audience, please applaud Patchkey for that fucking deep cut. That's amazing.
As long as we're talking 80s and 90s influence, I might as well also mention that I was also terrified by the nanny from Muppet Babies, who you only ever saw from the knees down. I just get
hold on.
Okay.
Sean in the chat was just invoking that because I don't
really?
think you read the chat. So I'm like, you and Sean are just like psychically linked. So make sure you visit him after the show.
I figured she was just cosmic horror from the knees up, and that it was too much to show the children. What nanny tended the Muppet Babies? It was just too much.
That was my theory about my character in Myst as I played through those games, because everyone would run away when I came in, and I was like, "What do I look like?"
You were the creature from Bird Box.
I read the tie-in novel from Myst, even
Really?
I was
the first
very
one was
into
killer.
That. Yeah.
I listened
didn't know
to
there were
it.
more than one. Yeah.
There were more than one, but I read the first one on audiobook. I had it in my generic Walkman, and I got the tape.
We are almost 10 minutes into the show.
I was using the length of one of your introductions, sir. I was just reminiscing.
Yeah.
I want to hear
No,
no,
I bloviate. You fucking run the game. You remember your role on the show. I will turn this entire podcast around. No, we'll go back to me and Charles giving each other hand jobs while talking about monsters for 2 hours.
All right then. Well, speaking of, I hope it's. Well, speaking of which, that gives us a perfect and natural segue to discuss tonight's characters. So, given that weird introduction, we need a very weird individual.
In penance for derailing things, I tell you what, I will do you guys a solid and go first tonight.
That's mighty generous of you.
That's no problem. Tonight I will be playing Griffin Orr, but you can just call me Griffy. I am a soldier is my class, meaning that I'm not a literal soldier. I'm an enforcer. In my case, I am actually a dishonorably discharged ex-soldier turned, hired muscle. And my interests include hitting people with bullets and other things that are sharp. So I don't think bullets are sharp, but yep, that's me. That's Griffey.
Long walks, like beating people on long walks on the beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shooting people, long walks on the beach, moonlight, on a, I don't know, sword blade or something.
Oh, that's just the fucking. Sorry, I got blinded as I looked.
I can see that.
You need to
just
do dark mode, man.
Out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do they have sunblock in Texas? Because you might need some.
Dude, you do not know how much I need.
They were all loving and dying, and they were doing it down in Texas.
Yep. Oh man, butthole surfers. That was a hilarious one to request.
That's what they called
Utah
you back in
radio.
college.
Yeah. That they actually called me Gibby Hayes in college. No. So Butthole Surfers is really hilarious because like you kind of weren't allowed to say that on the radio in Utah when they were popular, like even on the alternative stations. So they'd call them like B-hole surfers or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Super great. Love those guys.
All right. So who wants to fall in the wake of such a grand introduction of Griffey. Don't all clamor at once now, y'all.
I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the worm that nests in your groin.
Whoa.
I am Logan Reese, the vigilante. Let's get dangerous.
Did Darkwing Dunk say that thing about the worm in your
He's
groin?
Darkwing
so
Dunk
his
for
intro
sure.
was always,
I
am the
just
terror
edited
flaps in
that
the night.
right out of my memory, you know?
I'm the terror that flaps in the night. I am the subject that verbs in your object. I'm Darkwing Duck.
You verb a lot in those objects. I've seen it.
So
Yeah.
I am not playing. I am playing a character who is a vigilante, but who is legally distinct from Darkwing Duck.
And are you introducing that character's pseudonym?
Dark Nut
Darkwing
Foul.
Dork.
In the green room, we had a much better name planned out. Not better is
Okay,
wrong.
fine,
We
fine.
had a
It's the corkscrew.
perfect. We're running with it.
I understood that reference.
Unfortunately, I do too.
I bet everyone in this chat understood that reference because you're all fucking sick.
We're all funny that we had a gooey duck reference earlier too.
Yeah. Yep. That we did.
It gets that way.
Well, that's. But I'm done. Shh. Don't be shy. Don't be bashful.
So yeah, I guess you can call me Dusty. Because I like to go about the world. I spent some time in the Peace Corps. Tried to go out and help some people. Just out looking around, seeking everything in life that there was to know, and I learned that death is the ultimate thing in a world with infinite possibilities. Destiny falls silent. The call of purpose is muted by the ever-moving machine of progress. Blah blah blah. I am playing a seeker. I have a sniper rifle. I am
Details are unimportant because I have a sniper rifle. That should be your introduction for everything.
Dusty. He used to like crave peace, and then he realized paychecks matter and some people deserve to die.
Well, I'll tell you this much: with a sniper rifle, I believe that seek and ye shall find.
Yes.
Well, since all the betas are done, it's time for the alpha. to talk.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm Brooke Burton. I am an agent, and as you know, we are the best of the best. We are the most elite you can get in society. I'm known for my silver tongue, for my kung fu skills, my frightful martial arts abilities, and yeah, I am here to kick ass and take names, not necessarily in that order, but we'll see how it goes.
Bridget, what is the pronoun for Brooke? Because that could be used.
Brooke is definitely a he/him.
A he, him, okay.
Alpha Chad has entered the building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually a Ligma male.
Is that related to a Sigma male?
I mean, it's kind of the joke. That's half the joke.
I mean,
Sigma
Yeah,
Which is
balls,
funny because I only have half a joke left.
Oh,
That's the punchline.
me being 14 years old and unable to not make dick jokes in front of my urologist to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
That was today's punchline.
you know what? They get hazard pay for that. Don't worry about it, man. Let her rip when you're at the urologist. I mean, in every sense.
You
just
probably
let her
should
rip.
until they have the goggles on.
They give me a little bag for my urine sample, so I'm like walking around with this like fucking paper lunch.
I thought urine samples were in cups.
I just handed them a loose paper bag of piss.
They gave you a reverse Capri Sun.
John, I don't think you were at a doctor.
Just stick the straw.
might have been like really high in the back balcony. And some homeless guy came up to you. It was just like, hey, I get you to piss in this bag for me. It's science. Come on. Let's see that bright green urine.
You leave Wendell, my urologist, behind the Denny's alone.
Oh, Denny's,
All
that
right.
was professional. If it was a Waffle House, I would be right.
It's not a dock in a box. It's a dock in an unmarked van. You know.
Oh, that's
All
lovable
right.
hobos.
So, let me just set the scene, and then let's hop then into our adventure. So, the world that you're going to be playing in Cyberblood is, we're going to be in the year 2041, which when we were kids sounded forever in the future, but now we realize how close that really is. And you're going to be operating in New Seattle, which it may be new, or maybe it's just regular new, but to you, you've always just known it as New Seattle. All of you have received, all of you are basically persons who are hireable. Some of you might be running from something and needing cash. Other of you just have expensive hobbies or various side activities that just require influx of cash. So all of you are available for hire. So you have received a kind of a mysterious invitation to a section of town that is very wealthy and to meet at the higher level of one of these ultra high rises. So you find yourself in a very fancy hotel looking for the suite of a Mr. Blue. The glow of the evening city climbs through the suite's window and into the room. The flooring is a dense synthetic wood that radiates a coolness that stills the room further. Underneath a thick glass coffee table is a deep furry rug that nearly reaches the couches at either end. In the corner of the room is a black grand piano and a cushioned bench. The kitchenette, complete with a wine fridge, looks out into the rest of the room where your fellow retrievers are waiting for Mr. Blue, the fixer who hired you. The artificial fireplace crackles with an orange glow that dances light and shadows along the ground as you wait awkwardly or maybe uncomfortably long for the arrival of this Mr. Blue. Do any of you know each other from anywhere, or is this your first time seeing each other for the first time? If you want to make any awkward small talk, now is the time.
You guys ever think about how when you see someone for the first time, it's kind of the only time you'll see them for the first time? Just a random thought that me, Dusty, is having in my head.
I mean, honestly, that is pretty remarkable on the real, like real life Charles.
Mr. Patchkey, I was thinking not that clever, not that well stated, but the same thing. And I salute you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Whatever else is happening, Logan, the corkscrew, is kind of keeping to himself, wrapped in a long dark coat. You're still in Seattle, so coat's fine. I was gonna say, he's wrapped in a coat, and here in Texas, where it was 106 today, having a heat stroke.
Well, New Seattle could be in Texas for all we know.
Oh no, shit, Ian, is New Seattle in Texas?
You know, geography has not been your strong suit. That has probably been beaten out of your skull by some of your first forays as a vigilante gone wrong.
Yeah.
But to you think it is. You also think the moon also might be in Texas. So,
yeah.
The real question is,
I'm smart. I'm super weak. I'm not. Oh
yeah,
no, I'm even dumber.
This is a dystopian future where the Texas school board has really had to go at the books.
And don't forget that just because you're smart doesn't mean you're smart.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm not smart at all. Shit, I misread my character sheet. Never mind.
I like to see how you highlighted your two.
Okay, but here's my new plan.
I shouldn't have like revealed that until you're like trying to like, I'm gonna disarm this bomb, and it's like, oh wait, I'm not smart.
New Seattle is in Quashton. No. Logan Reese is up in the middle of everyone, talking, shaking hands, telling them that this job is going to go super well, just being like super likable.
Okay.
Now, just
Hey,
as a
what kind
quick
of car
side,
do you drive?
Oh, I drive.
I drive a Bugatti.
is our feed
I'm out.
frozen?
I'm
By
out.
the way,
Nope.
Did I hear Ian say asking if our feed was frozen?
looks
Yeah, it's
frozen
not
on
frozen.
mine. Okay, weird. My
No
computer's
hiccups
frozen.
on my end so
Okay.
far.
Cool. That's real weird. It's just my computer, folks. So it's just normally I'm usually the first person to catch this when we do freeze. So
It's just
on
a
me.
one-mon quality check.
it
Yep.
is because we
You
care about
caution us,
your
yeah.
experience, viewer. Keep in mind that as you recall the corkscrew, there is a completely stocked wine fridge. And being someone with avian qualities, there's also a basket of fruit in the kitchen end.
Are there any crackers?
You would have to rifle through drawers, but you do find a box. It
Okay.
is already open.
I look at them, I look at corkscrew, and I look at them again, and I just sort of throw one onto the ground and see what happens.
Don't resist.
I'm not a duck.
Oh. Well,
What
then
are you
I
talking about?
then I go to hand you a single cracker.
I take the cracker.
Yeah, that's what
ducks
Dusty
do.
thought. Yeah.
Love it.
All right. There's more where that came from.
Yeah.
Now I know why you're saying you're just going around being likable.
Here you can eat free at Subway.
While you're
Bernard got
making
that
this,
joke.
while you're eating your crackers and making your small talk, there's a loud click, and you hear the sound of the suite's door electric lock open, followed quickly by the whoosh of the door sliding into the wall. A pair of men enter, and the door shuts behind them. One man, dressed in a professional-looking navy blue suit, looks each and up of you down before making his way to the window overlooking New Seattle. The other is built like a tank. He posts up on the other side of the room near the hallway leading to the bedrooms. He crosses his arms and takes a hit from an inhaler before letting a cloud evaporate from his nostrils. You can guess which one is Mr. Blue. He snaps his fingers and the window begins to tint, stretching the city lights into dark lines. The light in the room automatically adjusts. He turns and looks at each of you again. All of you are here, so let's begin. I have another meeting in an hour or so. Listen closely and save your questions at the end. I don't plan on repeating myself. And he looks slightly at your crumb-filled face for just a second too long, Logan. You know who I am. You know the job. The only reason why I'm making an appearance in person so we can nail down the details. Consider it a show of faith. For the past 15 months, the New Seattle Art and History Collective has been in possession of the most valuable ancient artifacts still in the hands of private collectors. The calf of Nakaman Common. Mr. Blue clicks a small device in his hand, and the image of the idol appears in a hologram in front of him. It's about 2 feet tall, and its form is of a young cow laying down. 3 pairs of horns crown its head, and its expression strangely human. It's an Egyptian idol from the Nakaman dynasty, and it's about 28 pounds of pure gold. The last time it was on display was in 1990. Since then, it's been in the hands of private collectors, trading ownership every couple of years, usually as a tax write-off. He shifts his weight and clicks the device again, the hologram now displaying the image of the museum. The idol is worth hundreds of thousands of credits. My employer wants it and is willing to pay quite a bit for the trouble. And he kind of flashes a too toothy of a smile. The job's as simple as that. Bring the calf intact and undamaged. And he kind of looks at you, Dust, as you're just kind of mulling around. If you do this, you will leave with 35,000 credits each. The idol is going on display in 2 days, so that gives you less than 48 hours to recover the calf and bring it back here. Once it goes public, there'll be far too much publicity and public attraction, and the whole job is a wash. If that happens, don't expect to be hearing from me or any fixers for a while. Another click of the device, and the image changes yet again to a cross-section of the museum, showing its multiple floor layout. The building is square and flat on top and is surrounded by 4 obelisks. A main staircase leads up into the main hall of the first floor. It looks roughly like a ziggurat. The museum has 4 floors and is split into 2 wings, an east and a west. The calf is going to be displayed on the first floor in the main hall, but before its official unveiling on Friday, the calf is being stored on the top floor, which has been locked down for security. From my recon, I can tell you that security is present, but light. If you're able to get in quietly, you shouldn't incur any serious trouble. The room is quiet for a moment except for the cackle of the fireplace and the sound of the blues bodyguard exhaling another lingering menthol-flavored cloud. You guys are professionals. I expect professionalism. If you need to scout the building further or buy supplies, that's on you. I'll be staying in another room in the Hang Tower, so I can be here to retrieve the calf within 5 minutes of your arrival back here at the suite. I don't suppose you have any questions.
How much does the calf weigh?
28 pounds. You are not paying attention. I am docking you 1,000 credits.
Well, so what's the going rate of 28 pounds worth of gold in credits?
You are being docked 2,000 credits for wasting my time. Does anyone have time for anyone want to ask a real question? You have one more question out of me, and then I am leaving for my next appointment. Make it count.
Where'd you get your suit?
Your mother. And he
I feel like I should dock more credits than the question of the weight.
I should walk that back. I feel like he'd be a jerk, but I think he'd probably, as an alpha to an alpha, he would actually tell you exactly the store. And
it was fuck your mother on 44.
Dang. Yes. It's like, how was that spelled? Is it like creatively like wingdings or something?
No, it's just straight out there. Just
Yep.
Yeah. Edgy is the new cool.
But underneath it, they write in Thai, so you think it's a transliteration. It's not, though.
It's not.
It's not.
It's
The
not.
Thai also says "fuck your mother."
Yeah, because it's like this kind of like fuck it. Yeah, I love it. So he says that politely, unlike his other kind of snarky responses, and he looks at you as you've been kind of tucking into just the crackers, and he says, "Enjoy the wine. It's already paid for. Consider it a show of faith."
I don't trust drunkos.
Show of faith. The words echo in your head as Mr. Blue and his bodyguard exit the room. The door seals with a hiss and a click, and you are alone again, just the 4 of you.
Did any of you guys write down what he wanted us to do?
No, I don't need that. I got this.
I've got the weight of the
Steal
gold.
the thing from the place. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm working on the conversion of how much that gold is worth in today's currency. We might be getting had on this deal.
Well, of course we are, but you should be aware that Griffey is a by the books type, so my loyalty is bought, and we might have to scrap if you try and double cross the guy who hired me.
Or I pay you more, and then I'm the guy who hired
No.
Does this explain all of that shoe polish on your teeth?
Yeah, for sure.
Don't look at me.
All right. Well, you're loyal to this project. What do we do?
I wouldn't be a dick about it if it didn't point it out in the character sheet. I mean, fuck's sake.
No. You're not being a dick. You're playing the character. Go with it. Yeah. What do we do?
I'm also not supposed to. Fuck it. I don't know. Go to the place where it is. I would guess. Do we have access to a car?
We have a Bugatti.
It's in the shop. It's not actually here.
Oh, so we'll just take your Porsche instead.
That's also in the shop.
Lamborghini?
No, in the shop.
Your turbine-driven motorcycle fleet that you have several of.
No, and also the fan boat in the shop.
What about your Ford?
What about
Pinto?
hoverboards?
I've got Cyber Uber on my
Can
phone.
I get a piggyback ride?
Do you have an 89 Toyota?
I do happen to have an 89 Toyota with me.
It's so ancient at this point.
I am driving it ironically.
Your character.
Okay. Well, all joking aside, I don't know about you. I don't know about you. Swear to me. I can't do the voice without cracking myself up. I'm sorry. I don't know about any of you.
You quack me up.
But you think this is a joke? You think I got bitten by a radioactive duck and my dick's a corkscrew? What am I supposed to do? My wife left me because of the corkscrew dick.
Bitten by a radioactive duck would have made that character more comforting. He lived in a whole city of malformed duck people.
I'm not Harold. Oh, yeah. I forgot what I was doing for a second and became Harold the duck.
Howard the duck.
Howard.
Oh, you're not being
his cousin Henry.
His cousin who smokes a lot, Harold.
All right. All jokes aside, we need to. I need some money. I need to be able to afford some things. We need to take this motherfucker down. I mean, get this vase and cradle it lovingly back here for justice.
For justice.
I just want to point out I do not need this money. I'm just doing this for fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you were gonna do it ironically.
No, not that.
I was expecting 4 bitches.
I don't need this to get bitches.
I do. I need to steal a weird flask from a ziggurat for bitches. Yeah, let's go to the ziggurat.
It's where the cool kids are hanging out.
Yes.
By the way, I love how you said you have Cyber Uber on your phone as opposed to like Rat Patrolla Uber. Yeah, where you're like, I need
did you know scientists have discovered that rats enjoy driving little cars? It lowers their stress levels.
That's great.
Also, newsflash: rats can drive little cars.
Well, I know that much. I've seen adorable footage.
In the sewers under your city, rats lurk in tiny little cars driving about in their own little society.
It's so fucking adorable, guys.
But there's a traffic jam when someone flushed a tampon.
We're a serious playtesting program, and you can trust our judgment and to respect the content of your adventures, everyone.
Explicitly.
We are professionals.
And again, if you haven't seen it on the website, cyberblood.net, this is the introductory to Raider, which is what we are playing. So you were saying that you're wanting to go check out the ziggurat. The question is, what time of day are you going?
Twilight. I am the night. I'm like the early evening, late evening, early night. That's me.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of casing, you are going to go straight and launch right into the gig.
I would mind casing it out from a further away vantage point before we just jumping in. Looking through
I'm
at
assuming
least binoculars or cyber binoculars.
Nerd.
I'm assuming that we it was earlier in the day when we arrive at the place, and since Corkscrew wants to wait till dusk,
it was
would have
evening?
a little while.
It was evening. As the glow of the evening city was kind of the introductory. But you have 48 hours for the gig. So the question is, what you want to do now, and if you need to stop anywhere for supplies or any things you want to prep, or what your plans are, since Every time we've run a stealth or heist adventure, you've picked the brick cinder block through the window approach. You can pick any way you want to do it.
Bridget knows a shortcut.
Yeah.
It might be full of Jar Jars. You know, who knows?
I
That was
have
still one of the best things we've ever done.
I have everything I need, like, probably for this adventure.
So we don't want to put on disguises to try and infiltrate the security to try to figure out the layout of the building and like when the shift change is going to happen, so we can, like, I don't know, zip line down and like put fog into the room so that we can see where the lasers are all at, and then that way we can grab it and go out through the skylight.
Oh my god, that's boring stuff, dude.
Okay, my bad. I apologize. I take it back.
Someone needs to give that man points. If you're still tracking points, give that man points.
Okay, John gets points. 2 points, John.
Yes.
You could. I meant Dusty.
No,
Yeah,
Dusty
well,
doesn't believe in
Dusty got
points. It's fine.
There's no reason to be ashamed of self-gratification, Pashki. None at all.
Okay.
I want to point out real quick that Corkscrew carries himself like chest puffed out, arms
All
rolled
coiled
by
up.
his side, Corkscrew coiled. And I want to just point out with all of that and the I am the knight. He probably weighs like 84 pounds soaking wet.
You're playing him like Kick-Ass.
Without the immunity to pain.
I know you like pain.
No, I don't.
Pain,
Please stop
piggy.
pain.
Okay, so I am still unsure what your course of action is as a group. Why don't you figure out what you want to do when, and we're going to play it out either as dramatic sequence of montage or in media res action.
Dusty bugs off and leaves you guys there and goes to scope out the thing by himself.
Can his
Okay.
name now be Dusty Bugs Off?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
very good.
I like
Yeah.
it. We'll go with that.
I love it.
Dusty bugs off.
Dusty shaking all the bugs off.
I will say, as a GM, one of my weaknesses is always making names, and so I rely on a name generator. So I love how you have turned Dust into Dusty Bugs Off. Love it. Okay, so we'll do a quick series of montages unless anyone else wants to join Dusty as he scopes this out with his technology as being a seeker. You're used to being kind of a lone wolf person, really involved in technology and really well invested. So as you are kind of giving this a sequence of examinations, go ahead and tell me like what skills you might want to use to kind of scope it out.
My skills, yes. Not agility. Maybe fitness. Intelligence. Let's go ahead. I got some electronic like binoculars, I'm sure, right? I've got I've got some super scope technology that's not to be confused with things from the 90s that made you play 2 video games total. And I'm able to zoom in and see some stuff through walls.
You're using the scope of your Mars weapon, which is basically a rail gun, a magnetically assisted rail gun.
Versus
So-
the non-magnetic rail guns.
Go exactly. Now, you have the more punchy. You have got a freight train of a sniper rifle. Go ahead and make me a 2 things. I want you to make me an intellect check, so that's D20 plus 1, and then I also want you to make me a focus check, which is also a D20 but minus 4.
Okay, big dice is gonna be the -4. Okay, that's a 10 minus okay, that's fine. So 10 minus 4, that's a 6. And my what was the other one?
Plus, I will give you at a plus 3.
All right.
D20 plus 3.
So that would be a 14.
Okay. So you are looking through your scope and you're kind of getting a lay of this from the outside. So you see that this ziggurat has 4 stories to it, that you have a various side stairways that go up to like emergency exits on the side of the main lobby, but the main entrance is up one of the sides where there's like a plaza that leads to the south side of this building. On this little small plaza, there's like a fountain. Above the entrances and exits for the lobby, there are two of these like ziggurat levels that have little balconies around the windows. There is a thin little layer of glass that's around the second level, and a wider balcony around that, and a thinner balcony that goes around the third floor with larger panes of glass. The fourth floor of this looks to be like little square windows that you may be able to shimmy in, that kind of look down into the galleries from this kind of viewpoint. You find, though, that your focus is a little bit distracted because on all the sides of the building are replicas, you think they're replicas maybe, of various statues and statuettes from antiquity representing different ages and eras and famous sculptors. And they're just dazzling in this fading sun. And for a moment, you kind of have that reflection of the things that really gave you value when you were in the Peace Corps, when you really felt connected to humanity. Even though now you are just nihilistic and want to destroy everything and don't give a shit, you kind of have that kindling of a spark, and you realize that like maybe this journey will bring you closer to these new friends, and maybe you'll find something worthwhile in your exploration of the museum that maybe gives you hope again. So with that distraction, maybe fleeting, that's the main details that you get. South is the main entrance, balconies, some windows, maybe you entrance, egress. Other than that, that's just kind of superficial details.
Okay. So I draw up a blueprint. I have the duck corkscrew on a paraglider going in through the balcony. I have myself going in through the main entrance wearing a very large mustache, like this, small, tiny in comparison to the mustache I'm going to be wearing. Also a fedora, but it's hot pink. That is to draw the attention of the guards. That's when everyone else is going to sneak in around the not main entrance. I'm going to trip a few sensors and get everyone to come swarm me. And then when I get kicked out, I'll then return to my perch with my railgun.
I love it.
I think I'm going to.
I think you're on
the balconies.
Charles, are you talking?
Bernard, you're on mute. You're still on mute.
Are you pulling up ASCII from earlier?
There I am. Yeah. I have a grappling hook. Maybe I can help with that, but I don't know. See, the problem with grappling your way up a ziggurat is it's well designed in that each level is far enough back usually that it's like difficult to, get a grapple over it or whatever.
You could have how this museum is designed.
Okay. That's what I will try, although my agility is not the best, so I might wind up being a second distraction, which is fine. Yeah.
As an important point of order, what time of day are you doing this? And are you still casing, or are you doing this with the intent of breaking in?
I think the idea is that when he returns with the map, wouldn't it just be go time since it'd be the night time, which is the right time?
Well, it was okay. So are you waiting for this to be closed and or are you doing this while it's still open? Because it sounded like with the whole fedora thing that you were going maybe when it was still open.
Yeah, before close. That way I can get their attention, and then everyone else can sneak in and hang out until after close.
Okay.
Like in the men's room or something. I don't know. They'll probably have a drop ceiling in there that we can move a tile, and you guys can go up in there, put the tile back, so when they go to do a security check and make sure the bathrooms are all empty, they won't see anyone there. As long as no one's smoking, they won't know that there's something going on.
So wait, you want us to hang out in the bathroom and not smoke?
Yeah, I know it's a big ask. I'm sorry.
I love the idea that you're like frogging in a building and you get busted because you're just firing up cigarettes.
Question: Did you say frogging or frothing?
Frogging, yeah.
I
Frogging.
have a question. Is Brooke going to be willing to go into the men's room with a bunch of other Min?
No, I am not. I'm planning on ditching you guys and scaling the building.
I was
Reclimbing
thinking
it,
I might
brah.
crash through a second floor window from the adjoining thing.
Let's,
Yeah,
I
it sounds
realized
like
my
we're all going to
body's-
be distracted.
I just love. I love.
Hold
I
on.
have to break the fourth wall. I have to say, I love how like collectively, except for this exception of Mr. Paschke, y'all are just like the absolute worst with any heist-based game or investigative. It's just like this, like.
I have a
I
question.
love it.
I have a question. Players, raise your hand if you knew we were going to be doing heist stuff tonight.
Yeah. Well, even if we did, man, like you can't be good at everything, you know.
No, I love it. It's,
I was going to say I was going to try to crash through the second story window. Then I remembered I have a intelligence of 2 and a body of 3. So
See,
well, you
so
might
on my
try with
play-
an intelligence that low.
there's this
I'm going to
ceiling edge.
try.
how about this? Since I am going to round robin, go in order of. I'm going to start with because I heard the idea first from Griffey. And then I'm going to go top initiative. So he's going to go Griffey, Logan. So I'm so sorry. I meant to say not Griffey. I meant to say Dusty this whole time. Excuse me. We started off with Dusty. Dusty's reconnaissance. So we're going to go Dusty. Then we're going to go Logan, Griffey, and then Brooke. Is that an okay order? Because I'm just hearing the order of you guys originally talking. And you all tell me what you're doing since you're going all over the place. And we'll resolve it in the order. And then you'll meet up somewhere, perhaps. Split the party, perhaps. And then we'll just figure it out. How's that? Finger guns.
All right.
Oh yeah, it's tell you when it comes to our turn. Gotcha. Okay. Yep, let's go.
The reason why I'm doing it, especially with that order, is because Dusty seems to have a great plan that no one's going to stick to, and it involves a hot pink fedora. I want to see how that plays out. So, Dusty, take her away. What are your main course of actions? And then we'll move on, and we'll resolve these bit by bit.
Well, first of all, I just have to say I forgot how many buttons this shirt was missing, and they're not for my belly. I'm now in disguise. All right. Going into the front door. I've got my bright pink fedora on, the fake mustache over my real mustache. Dusty has a very thin pencil mustache. I will just so you know. It's
the John Waters, we call it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's rocking the John Waters. Whenever he smokes a cigarette, he does the French inhale just because that's what you do. He goes in through the front door and he's just like, oh, yes, I would like to make a purchase of some of this fine artwork that you have.
I don't know where you found that voice.
You just destroyed Charles.
I didn't know you had like a loud sales guy voice. It's like on tap, dude. That was amazing.
This is my normal voice. When we record, I put on a fake voice to
Now he's
seem more
gaslighting
normal.
you, Charles.
Oh,
I always sound like this.
I am going to put a pin in that. So you're going into the front door right as the museum's
Absolutely, I am.
closing, and talking how you want to buy art from their art shop.
Yes.
Meanwhile, as you are doing that, Logan, you are going to flat into a window.
Yeah, I am the knight.
Okay, so tell me how are you doing that?
I am going to climb up the next building over.
It is a movie theater.
That's fine. Roof access.
Yeah.
I go out to the roof of the building across the street. I take a good run and launch myself at the window across the street while swinging my bat.
So-
Like, not directly, like I know I'm gonna be going like this. So
Okay.
Do you have a hang glider?
Did you have a hang glider, or are you just jumping off of a
Jumping
building
off
to
the
break your legs? Like, I
Well,
just need to know, like, are you
Ian,
doing anything that's going to
Ian.
get you from...
Ian,
He
Ian,
has wings.
Ian,
Okay.
Ian. Okay. I have seen. Have you heard of one person? I was really sad to find out they were conservative. Bruce Willis. Have you heard of Bruce Willis? Because I've seen him jump across buildings to another. I've seen it so many times, and those are documentaries.
Not across a street, man.
Yes.
Across an alleyway between buildings, but not across the street.
Oh
Like,
no, I meant across like an alley.
You've seen Spider-Man do that. You haven't seen Bruce
That's
Willis.
also a
do it.
documentary.
Spider-Man is Bruce Willis. That's just.
I did say the building next door.
Spoiler alert,
Yes.
Pashki.
Anyway.
So this is not going to be butting up against the building, and a ziggurat is going to be... This is not a...
Then the fall's not going to be
They're like
that fall.
Zerats are like pyramids. They do this. Like,
Also, regrettably, the fall will be at least as tall as a movie screen. So,
Right.
oh no, I suppose the back of the building could have the.
Okay,
the
so I
screens
need
in the
to know:
front
are
could
you
be-
doing an action that's not going to actually result in what you want to do for sake of character building, because you're going to be breaking your legs? Like you're jumping with no net, like you're jumping from like a
Stop
building.
trying to
This-
save my life, Ian. You're not my mom.
Okay, I didn't want there to be any like, sphincter hurt when like he just like falls and breaks his legs, and that's just where he is for the rest of the game.
Are we using real world physics or like D&D physics?
if you get a
Because in
20,
D&D
it
physics,
works.
I could move 30 feet. I could take a fall of 30 feet
Instead
without
of the
breaking my legs.
Baltusburger bargain, we're doing the Baltusburger lecture. And this is going.
Hey,
All right, so
you
you're
needed a
jumping
real
off.
lawyer in here.
Remember that
You
time
know,
our characters all did drugs?
there was a rule about this very thing I read in the materials we got that said
Thank you, Asher.
something about hairs should not be split by players, but only by the result of a roll, like whether it succeeds or fails.
Yeah,
Or
you
whether
need a
it's
nat
possible
20.
or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Give me a roll. It doesn't matter what you roll, because I need a nat 20 for you to just jump a city block onto a tapered
1 second.
ziggurat.
Now, see, if this were
Oh,
Splatter League,
okay. All right.
I could have done it if I was wearing my flex pants.
That is a 23
I need a nat 20.
on a D30. You said it doesn't matter what I roll.
Oh,
Okay.
All right,
Use
so
a
next
D100
in
roll
initiative
time.
That's a good joke.
is we're not playing DCC here. All right, so the next is that was for being a rules lawyer, you were actually correct, and I hate you. All right, so next in initiative is Griffey. So Griffey,
I would like to climb, which actually uses my fitness, not my agility, using my grappling hook to the very tippity top of the ziggurat.
Okay.
And as I am a physically fit specimen, I don't think this should be too difficult.
it's not going to be
I've,
very difficult.
Yeah, I
I'm
have
gonna
a
be
+5
asking you
bonus. And
to roll is more of for other things that could happen rather than your ability, because you have the competency, the equipment. So
Yeah.
this is for secondary things.
right.
So in that case, you can. That is a tough choice. I could see you argue. It's probably going to be we'll make it a climb check.
it doesn't matter what it is. I'm actually boned. Oh, actually, maybe not. Yeah, I squeaked past that. That's an 11 on a fitness 10, and that was an 11.
What did you roll? Because you have a +5.
Right, I rolled a 6.
And you also are going to be using your grapplings. That's going to be giving you that's basically, in this case, I'm going to argue it's going to give you advantage, so you can roll a second time,
Okay, cool.
because it's not that difficult to scale.
Well, I did worse. That's a 2.
Mm.
And on a D20, both of those, a
He
6
just
and a
slides back down the ziggurat.
2.
Okay. All right. And so your intent is to get to the top of it, or just to the 4th floor windows?
Let's say 4th floor windows.
Okay. I know what your action is. You've given your roll. Next in initiative, Brooke.
All right. I'm going to scale the building. And I will be using not my agility, because we'll get to that later, but my fitness with my climb modifier.
That's correct.
All right.
So that is D20 plus 4.
24.
Okay.
I said I was an alpha.
Wait,
And
you rolled a
proved
nat
it. You
20?
proved.
I rolled a nat 20.
I think there's
Okay.
a bonus with that.
So, so this is how this is going to play out. So, Dusty, you walk in
Yes.
with your hot pink fedora and your John Walter mustache. As the museum is closing, you walk in saying, "I'd like to buy some of your finest art." The security guards look at you as they're like actively locking down the building, and you see them turning off lights. And actually, I would like to see you use a I want you to make a charisma check, which is fantastic for your character.
Yeah.
Because
It's
you're
minus
literally
5.
like doing this bizarre thing, and I want to know. Feel free to make this as a charm or as a psychology roll. Either is going to work perfectly fine.
So
Or hell, you could do it as a threaten, lie, charm, or psychology. You tell me which one you're choosing.
all right, so we got a bunch of -5s, but the psychology is a -3. So I
Okay.
think that's the only thing I have a logic to pick there. Yeah, so I would look at them. I would like to buy one of your tastiest arts. And by tasty, I do mean delicious.
That's good psychology.
How does a 13 do for you, Daddy?
Is he going to red dragon some art? Is he just going to eat a statue?
You're not my
Okay.
mother.
So,
I'm going to call the next salesperson I interact with Daddy.
so
How does 20 bucks on the end, Daddy?
Oh yeah, he also
So
pulls us
you-
some currencies, and it's just
So at first they thought that you were maybe a elderly person having a stroke, or maybe you were just like a person under the influence of substance. But with that mustache and the money and your use of psychological persuasion to really kind of drive home your point, they just accept that you must be some very eccentric rich person, and they actually take you seriously. At first they were about to like forcibly eject you from the museum, but only someone who's that weird coming in at that time flashing cash has to be someone that's there for the auction room on the 4th floor.
That checks out.
The guards are very confused of what to do, and one of them says, would you sir mind if I just make a quick phone call about this?"
oh yes, take your time. Do you mind if I smell the art?
Please don't leave the lobby.
But that's not
We-
where the good art is.
So-
Ah,
So
This
they
character within a character might be my favorite Pashki
Agreed,
character of
yeah.
all time.
This is amazing. So you hear one of the guards radioing someone asking about what the protocol should be for someone that may want to buy something offline before the auctions in 2 days. And you hear something about eccentric, something about fruitcake, and then something about wads of cash. Meanwhile, you hear the sound of a very distant, muffled thump and high-pitched squealing somewhere in the distance. It sounds like a duck has been run over by a monster truck, squealing something about, "Oh God, my legs, oh God." My legs. Why are they so wet? Meanwhile, you hear a loud thud from somewhere on like the third floor of the building. One of the cops, the one that's not on the radio, instinctively like reaches for like his gun and taps the other on the shoulder, says, I think we got a situation, and runs up one of the staircases up towards the third floor. Meanwhile, the alpha that you are, you find yourself on top of the building, Brooke, overlooking and watching the disappointed form of Griffey sliding down the building just enough to trigger, I don't know, some type of alarm. You see his hand has slipped at some point, and he's like scrabbling to get back into a good position, and like you have a feeling like he's made too much noise, but you are just flawless and perfect in every way. Even though like the entire con you were like checking your NFT sales, and they're like through the roof. So, Griffey, you don't feel confident in how well you've been scaling this. Like you've actually like ripped the gargoyle off one of the balconies and it like crashed
Which is a damn
down below.
shame because I love gargoyles.
It was a fucking sweet ass gargoyle. And then like you just see Brooke like spider monkey up towards. Were you going to the top roof or where were you going again, Brooke?
I'm going to the 4th floor balcony.
Yeah, so you spider monkey up that, and it is a very thin ledge. Give me a balance check as you perch on this.
I knew you were going to do this. I knew you were going to do this.
It is in the module. It is a DC 16 balance check.
Are you fucking kidding me? I rolled a 4.
Made it all the way to the top, did you?
I just want to offer that I think it'd be super funny if Brooke landed on me.
No, you're on the other side of the same block.
I know.
Following along at home, I have the worst agility. We're all random rolls, and I have the worst agility on the planet. So.
You just jumped off of a movie theater.
And,
I basically just like hit and
John
fell
has my
instantly.
sense of spatial orientation. Is what John has.
Who puts a movie theater next to a ziggurat? Let's start with this.
That's a very good question. And 2, I didn't say it would make logical sense. I said it would be funny.
And you were right.
Look, the movie theater is uphill. Okay, the ziggurat was dug into the hill. So
that's how.
When Corkscrew lands, he slowly rolls
Don't
around
lecture
the
me on
ziggurat
chemistry
to the far side, where
I
Brooke is about
appreciate
to
you
fall.
taking. I appreciate you taking all that pain and suffering for the team, John. Because hearing Ian dryly narrate. My legs. Oh God, my legs.
Yes. I want to apologize. This is going to be our last stream because Ian's going to come to our houses and murder us after.
I realized that, and it's down by my feet. I have a box of blinds I need to put on a window that is off camera. And what I really need to do is suspend them from the ceiling. So anytime you do those shenanigans, I can Jim Halpert for real. Like I can just like chink them open and just be like. Okay, so I did not want to nerf you like that, Brooke. It is rules as written, and you were just so.
I think it's
there was like
hilarious.
this monkey that was not selling exactly as you wanted, and you're so furiously tapping your sell button and resell button that you just lose your footing, and you also start to make that unfortunate high-pitched squeak sound as you like begin to slide down the building. And you happen to land on a very broken and shattered gargoyle. As this is happening, you are seeing flashlights that are coming up as you're looking through these windows as a guard is running towards your location, and you can't hear anything through these windows, but you think that he's radioing something. Meanwhile, you, Dusty, are hearing this guard finishing up this conversation about like, oh yeah, you should totally have him check out like the rare antiquities in the auction room on the 4th floor, when you hear a... we got 2 assholes on the side of the building here like fucking up shit. I need you to call the cops because I don't know what they're doing, but I think they're trying to break in. So this cop is like, I'm on it. And he's running back to the back of the lobby where you see that there is a security office. You have a short window here before that person radios from their central command, police, to come swarming. What do you do, Dusty?
Okay.
Bugs off.
Are they watching me right now?
Well, no, you've got one cop that's like, or one security officer that's on like the third floor that's radioing people that are trying to like break in through windows unsuccessfully, and the other cop that was, security officer, is heading back to the security office to call the real cops and backup.
All right. So it's at this point that Dusty will ready hit, like if they're not looking at him.
He isn't back, and he's running to the security office. So you have 2 rounds before
I pull
he
out
calls.
my guns. What?
Did I pull out my gun?
Pull out my
So
gun.
anyway, it started blasting.
Anyways, it's Dusty time.
Oh my God.
It's Dusty time.
So as they're running there, I pull up my rail gun and I just line them up. And yeah, rail guns are stupid fast because they're just magnets that shoot metal like stupid quick. So yeah, they're dust, right? Like
Hey,
that's
guys.
like,
So
having
it's
a
one
tornado,
guy
I have
in
to
line
walk
of
up.
sight of you. So I need you to make me your attack roll. So there are some storms that are happening. So our dear Brooke is deciding that it would be a great time to have a tornado. Or I should rather say Bridget is experiencing a tornado. So she is not. She might be in pieces, and we love her and we will miss her. Anyways, so I need you.
Oh.
Sorry.
I am going to have a bunch of her hair made into a doll if anyone needs to hug it.
I
will need
love that
2 of
very
those
much.
Dolls sent to my house. One for hugging.
So I need you to choose a focus or strength. So for you, that is going to be strength. It's going to be your better roll. So roll me D20 plus 4
Come on, no
for your
whammies.
attack roll.
No whammies, no whammies. Big money.
I feel like with them not looking at me, I should get advantage on this for a number of reasons. First of all, they trust me incessantly.
Says
Okay,
in
so-
the book.
John, doing this right?
So actually,
You're doing really
this
well,
is-
but him and Hallmore.
hold on. This is actually valid because the person has had a running start. He is beyond 15 feet away, so he does not have the close range penalty that a Mars weapon would have. He is shooting a target in the back that does not see him as a threat. That is a perfectly valid argument to make. So yes, if you want to roll with advantage and re-roll that, that is within the realm of possibility.
Suck a dick
That is a
7.
way to do the bargain. What was that?
I said suck a dick 7 because that's what I rolled.
So what is your best roll?
It was also the name of my band in high school, the Suck a Dick 7.
So let's say that I did 2 better than my previous roll.
Okay, so
But I have a
9,
rail gun.
Right. So, but it's hard to shoot from the hip. So, is that a 7 or a 9?
That is now a 9.
Okay. So you fire a burst of rail like guns. I actually want you to do me roll me a D2 or odds evens on something, and you call it. I need a luck check from you because you
going
are
for yellow
firing.
sign. And it fell on the floor. Let's do that again. Yellow sign.
Okay, the reason why is that these Mars weapons don't just fire single shots, but a burst. So you have just shot a burst of high-powered, kinetically propelled and gas-propelled super bullets right into the security kiosk that he is running into. So I wanted to see if there was a chance you would just be blowing away all of like a critical piece of technology that he would need to make a roll, because you're doing that within
The whole
a
booth,
relatively close range.
probably.
So
Yeah.
you failed successfully. So you fire around this guy, just pulling out a massive gun because it can connect together in pieces, and you destroy some things. There is, you see sparks shoot off. There is the sound of alarms ringing within the facility itself, but like bits of light start flashing around the museum, like you've hit some type of machinery that's important to the integral operations of this building. Actually,
Van
as a
Gogh generator.
follow-up to that, so that guard squeals and stops and puts his hands to his ears as you hear like electronic feedback come from within the room he's about to run into. I need you to roll me real quick there, Dusty, oh shit, you're not going to hear that at all. A listen check, which is at -4 for you.
No, that's a -1 for me.
Okay, so
I rolled a 3.
your ears ring from that fire. I then need you, Griffey, to roll me a listen check. So for you, that is at +1, so D20 +1.
And that would be...
I'm so sorry, that's D20 +3.
Okay. Doesn't matter because I rolled a 2. So
Okay.
that's a big old fail.
You hear, again, as you hear the sounds of like gunfire blasting from inside that ziggurat. You're not hearing anything else other than just like the echoey sounds like coming through the weird shape of the building. But above that, you still hear, oh God, why is no one helping me? I can't feel my legs. I'm scared. My phone is broken.
That just seems rude and vindictive.
Is anybody there? I'm sorry. I should make you actually have a roll to see if your legs are broken.
Apparently, you ignored me when I said "let's get dangerous," or you thought I was bluffing.
No, I thought you're bluffing. You have spiral compound fractures, my friend.
My secret is I'm never bluffing.
You know what? This is every time that some fucking kid watched Jackass and then decided to try something. It was, oh God, my legs. Why is nobody
I was
helping?
watching Darkwing Duck, obviously.
That was also a phenomenal Nintendo game, let's be real.
Yeah.
Okay, so let us figure out how this is going to play, because there are a lot of things that are going to be happening, and apparently none of your characters are aware of what's happening. So first off, as a quick retcon, I would like you, Logan, to make me a agility check. Specifically, why don't we make what is a tumble? How is that for you? Oh,
that's
that
plus
is
3. My agility is 8. I got +3 to tumble.
Oh, yes, looking at the wrong sheet. Thank you for correcting me. All right, let's see, as you jump off the building, if you can roll with the fall or if your legs are actually liquidized.
Okay. Ballpark figure. What would I need to roll to have legs? Give me a range that you feel comfortable with.
That you can walk on?
That they still exist.
I don't even know how to answer that. I was thinking that you needed to roll at least like a 5, but like logically, if you're just like raw dog jumping off like a 3-story building, I mean, shit, man, you're really needing like something like an 18 to like not break your legs. I mean, I don't. What did you roll?
No, I rolled very close. Look, hey, how about this? I rolled very close to that.
Okay.
I rolled.
What did you? You rolled like a 2?
I rolled no. I rolled. After you add my bonuses, which are impressive and sensual. I rolled. I rolled
The
a
effective
10.
bargain is the most concise bargain is the most effective bargain. What did you?
I'm not going for. Hey, when have I ever done this to get what I actually want? I have a kid. I know what doesn't work.
That is true. You do have a kid,
Wonder,
so you do know
people
how
wonder why I
fucked
drink
up
so
this
much
is.
on this show. All
Yeah.
right, so what did you roll?
I said a 10. I mean, I rolled a 7.
Okay.
But that's a gentleman's 10.
That's true.
Okay.
A 7 is a
I
gentleman's
will
10. Everyone knows that.
generous, and I will say you've just broken one leg, so it's just oh god, my one leg is broken. So you can still get away and then get like a cybernetic fix. You can do a medical check to splint it. You can still be somewhat operable. How about that?
Okay.
So
I do want to point out that I pronounce it weg because my mommy always did, and I thought it was cute. So one broken weg.
Your weg really, really hurts.
It really hurts, guys.
It
The
really
legs.
hurts. Okay.
I think you need some morphine.
Good Lord have mercy.
Okay. So
I'm gonna take some cyber oxy.
So you hear from a distance the sounds of high pressured rifles being fired in the general vicinity of the ziggurat. You've seen two of your friends scramble up one of the sides and struggling and failing and falling. Then you hear the gunfire. You're feeling that things might not be going very well for your compatriots. Before we snap back to you, Griffey, I want to know, is there anything you're wanting to do in a support role kind of from a distance here as you're seeing this play out? Is this an opportunity you want to kind of like cut and run and disassociate from like this bungled job and like get your leg fixed? Or are you wanting to do something kind of a secondary support role to maybe help this mission be successful, to help maybe get money to help get your leg fixed? Where are you in this?
You know what's funny is I have a +5 for forgery and a +6 to disguise. I have all these bonuses for searching and like scouting, and I can sneak and lockpick super good.
Threw it all away, jumping off a roof.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
It's the
I like
stats
it.
in class did not match the character motivation. So yeah, I did jump off a building. Is there a prosthetics truck, like a mobile, like a food truck park, but with like
Yeah.
prosthetics and medical?
Dash.
Yeah.
You look like you're hard drinking.
It's after 9 p.m. in an alley at a movie theater across from a museum.
Why is that
I
close?
don't
said
think
that.
there's going.
I explicitly said next door, not across the street.
And I told you the layout multiple times and gave you an opportunity to bet. All right, so we're starting to get close on time in general. So like I'm wanting to keep moving this forward because only one person has got inside the building, and it's not going very well.
No, I am grabbing a piece of trash as a crutch and trying to limp until I can find the nearest mobile prosthetic surgeon.
Okay, so go ahead and make me a quick check on your. I'll retcon the part about your phone being broken. So, make me some type of. Your checks are bad. That can't be that hard. I'm gonna give it to you.
Focus.
You are able to find a all-night, perhaps maybe seedy. There's like a 2-star rating, like 2.5, depending which app you check. Some type of bone saw that will be able to patch your leg up, so you can get one of those cyber Ubers and get over there. But you might miss a majority of the heist. But you come back.
I want to thank you for giving that to me because I rolled a 6. I was not going to get it on my own.
It's so you are able to get to a bone saw. Meanwhile, Griffey, you see that it looks like that Brooke has really hit his head and he's like sprawled out and just knocked out cold. Like he just scaled this building where you were just like eating it, and then you hear him something and say this fucking monkey something NFT and just loses his balance and just clunks over.
Yep.
Out cold. You see that there is a guard that sees you from these windows. You hear him like trying to call for like radio backup, and then there's this series of loud blast sounds from below. Alarms are going off, and then you are seeing that there are lights up above you on the 4th floor near that area that you got that description from Mr. Blue about where that golden calf is.
Well, at this point,
what do you want to do?
At this point, I think the element of surprise is effectively not a factor. So I'm just gonna take my good old fashioned shotgun, and I'm gonna bust in the window right in front of me and get into this building so that we can just get this done quick and dirty. Now, I'm using that
Perfect.
as a
Make me
force
a strength.
check. Okay, I can do that too.
So since you are going to be using your shotgun is going to be a strength. So give me a strength. That's
Okay.
it. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, go ahead and make it a force. That works for me. Absolutely. It's a +6.
And that is a success. 16 plus 6 is 22. So I succeed.
Beautiful. So you blast this window open, and it is reinforced, but you just absolutely shatter it in, and you follow through. The cop that you was like talking on his radio, like realizes that he's like fucked, and so he immediately puts his hand down to try to grab his weapon. Is a real quick, make me an agility check. Let's see who reacts faster in this case.
My guess would be him. But I rolled a 15. That's tasty. Let's see if I pass that. Yeah, I do pass that.
Okay, great. So you get initiative on him. So you see this person, he is reaching for a pistol and he's fumbling with the clasp because he's just scared as you are in this huge tank of an individual and glass is shattering everywhere. This also gives you an opportunity to say some type of pithy 80s action catchphrase, and you use this opportunity to say,
shots, 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 shots.
And you like rack your shotgun, invoking this ancient song that people generations ago knew.
Yeah,
this person seems to have no recollection. So go ahead. I'll let you get a free attack off of this person.
All right.
And are you doing lethal damage, or are you trying just to subdue them?
I'd say subdue, just based on my own personal predilections. I rolled a nat 20 though.
That's double damage. That is okay. So you would hit them and do double damage, and that would be knowing the damage that you would be doing with your weapon. For sake of time, are you okay if you just cold cock this guy with the butt of your shotgun as you're saying shots?
Yeah, that works.
You drop him like a wet sack of potatoes, and he just begins like ragdoll down the stairs. You hear like his radio like clicking and smashing the floor each time, and you just hear every time it hits like the button on it that you hear like screaming coming down from the lobby, which also kind of echoes up the staircase. Even over that sound, you hear heavy rustling and shuffling and scraping sounds and shattering coming from the 4th floor of the floor above you. Meanwhile, it's Dusty. So you've just fired your railgun. You've destroyed various systems. There are alarms going off, and this cop is just like visibly urinating his pants as you've just like bullet shot all the way around him as hopefully warning shots. He turns and he looks at you, and he's like fumbling with his gun. Roll me a agility at advantage.
Pants pissing is fun to watch in real time. I'll tell you that much.
What is the urinating the pants?
Yes, pants pissing in real time, very funny.
Glad that was with advantage. 6.
Okay, so in that case, he fumbles with his clasp, and you get the initiative still. And
Okay.
you can still
Alright.
fire. Do you want to shoot lethally within this short distance with your Mars weapon? What are you wanting to do here at this juncture? You
I would personally like to make this security guard who has done nothing wrong, who has shown up on his day off, I assume, because someone called in sick and they really needed
It's
him
my
to come in.
birthday.
I would like to make him the forever employee of the month by unaliving him.
Oh God!
That's my
Tracks, that makes
birthday.
sense.
Okay,
Was he 2
so
days from retiring?
all right, so roll me your unalive check. So again, wow, that sounded definitive. So that is strength is going to be your better. So that is at D20 plus 4.
Fantastic.
Unless you're wanting to unalive him with your sword, which is also pretty cruel.
Oh, I forgot about I have a sword. Crap. Can I have a gander real quick before I actually make decisions? Where are you, my sword? My beloved sword, my little slicey slice. My little long dagger.
For those of you viewing at home, Pashki's love of swords is particularly forgivable, as he is a real-life swordsman.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
swords a
He's a lot
lot.
of
in
fun.
Hema. Yeah, yeah.
I was just thinking like, oh, he said the
Where
magic
is-
word, which is sword.
Yeah.
I
Where-
gave him a sword.
Where is it? Okay, there it is. Okay, so aim skill strength 2D. Blah, river tag.
It's either 2d8 plus 9 or you're doing 20 flat damage with your Mars rifle.
I like that 20 flat damage.
Martyr's Rifle is a cool name.
It is a really cool name. You know what? As much as I really want to use the sword, and I have wasted our time looking over it, I think I'm going to stick with the gun.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So roll me your strength check. That's D20 plus 4.
All right, 14.
Yeah. So this guy churns and he says, but it's my birthday. And you can see that like he is a low level security guard, but he still has enough to have like a little bit of protective, like Cyber Kelvar kind of a thing, like stuffed under his uniform, things sticking out, little patches and stuff. And you just blow a hole like straight through
no,
it,
no.
like his guts.
If he's going to say, but it's my birthday, I'm like, well, how convenient, because it's also your death day.
Nice.
Oh,
Well
right.
played, sir.
So that is great. You splatter his everything because this is a burst of high pressure rifle like bullets. You splatter everything that was once inside his cavity. His viscera is now an art installation all over the back wall of the lobby, and there's just like even red mist that like trickles out from his capacity that's just been vaporized by the pressure. And he just slumps wordlessly. The urine in his pants mixing with his blood. It's real gross.
Yeah.
All right.
It looks tasty.
You also, after that, hear the sound of glass breaking and thud, and you see a body ragdolling down the stairs of the other security guard who is just knocked out cold, has like a giant bruise like blossoming across his face, and it's just like twitching a little bit uncomfortably, but you can see this person is like clearly out. Also, meanwhile, Logan, you get to the back alley hacksaw, bone saw kind of guy, offering you your choice of leg. If you want just lots of
Quick interjection, just because it's funny. Bonesaw is the character that the Macho Man Randy Savage played in the original Spider-Man movie. Sawbones.
Yeah.
Sawbones
What I
is a
wanted to
generic
say.
term for doctor. Yeah. Okay.
in the far future.
I would love it if they were all called a Bonesaw. I'm gonna go see the Bonesaw. Are you ready for me to take your temperature?
Hey, freak
It is-
show! I've been to the top of the mountain.
So the person is offering to give you the best leg. In fact, he tries to upsell this like ultra chrome plated leg, saying that the cream rises to the top, and you, being such a lovely cream, should have what makes you rise to the top. So, over a series of montages, you get yourself. Do you want to repair your leg or get a new fancy chrome prosthetic?
New fancy chrome prosthetic, obviously.
Every time.
Yeah.
So,
Not
for
even
the
a question.
rest, so you go through a couple of hours to replace your leg, and you get one cool feature about this leg. It depletes half of the money you have left in your account. What is the cool feature that your new prosthetic leg does that this back alley bone sawbone gives you?
I want to say that it can automatically dance to Cotton Eye Joe.
I thought you were gonna go Lush Butcher with this, but okay.
Actually, here,
I can see it like doing a little jig, like I'm a
Yeah,
long time ago.
I want a I want to get it has that punch for plate glass window in the heel.
Great. So you will have a spring-loaded articulator piston like that's built into your leg that really helps to break in things. The guy gives you like a hearty wink and says, "Don't do anything illegal." And so this was going to give you +4 to your force skill as you use it to break into things. So you're still a little bit in a drug haze. So you think that maybe you can get back to the museum. Hopefully, your friends are still, casing things out and things are going well, and you'll just get there to help them at the nick of time.
Yeah.
So you were kind of asynchronously doing this scene. You're high on drugs and you're having a great time, and you're like, this is great and everything is going perfectly. All of my medical bills are going to be paid off because this job is going to go flawlessly. My friends got this. I've made new friends. My mom's going to be very pleased, et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, so back kind of doing this in kind of where you're stepwise, you just sent this body down the stairs. Griffey, you're hearing noise coming from the 4th floor landing, so you're here in between floors. On the 3rd floor, you can see that there are signs towards the exhibits on the 3rd floor for the Forgotten Renaissance and the Impressionist Maze, and you see a placard that points up to the 4th floor that has a sign saying auction room, insects of the world, synthetic gallery, and the Nakamen Common Dynasty.
I'm going 4th floor.
Okay, are you taking the stairs or an elevator that's just past the stairs on the 3rd floor?
Well, I'm already like most of the way there, so I think I'm just going to use the stairs. I think it'd be quicker, right?
That's up
whichever
to you,
one would be
probably.
quicker.
Yeah, the stairs. So you get up the stairs, and you can see that there looks to be like there's been a sign of struggles on this floor. Like there are some heavy footprints, and you see slumped up against a wall are 2 other guards that are the same kind of uniform that the person you just like sent down the stairs, but they have like a thick bruising around their forehead and a nasty like circular wound carved into their forehead. Their hands are zip tied to themselves and then to each other as they're back to back, and they're just kind of like lolling senseless against one of the walls. From here you can hear sounds of grunting and like there was like you heard previously that glass sound up here, and you hear heavy footsteps coming your way.
All right, well, I'm going to greet those heavy footsteps by I think just like getting ready to blow whatever it is away. So does that count as no? I'm assuming that for one of my abilities, the draw fire, I have to be engaged in battle like alongside somebody, because it just specifies that I have to attack a creature that's not attacking me or attack a person that's not attacking me for that bonus. But I think it assumes that I'm intervening.
You could probably use it in either contexts, either if it's like in a melee and you're drawing someone's fire from someone else, or if there is something that hasn't engaged you yet, you're basically saying, come at me, fuckers, like whatever it is that you're doing. Absolutely. So tell me what you're thinking about doing as you're hearing heavy footfalls, as if like you're hearing, someone's coming your way.
Well, let's see. What am I doing? Is there cover nearby?
You're on stairs, so you can duck into one of these exhibits. It sounds like it's coming from that Nachman Dynasty exhibit where the calf is.
Fuck it. I'm just gonna charge it and open fire as soon as it comes into view with my shotgun.
So you're aiming your shotgun, so I'm going to say you're going to have an advantage because you are covering this area with a spray weapon. So you have that going down. I want to know why that is happening. Dusty, you just splattered this guy. You see that there is an elevator that can take you up to the 4th, as well as a series of stairs that can take you up to the 4th, where you're hearing a lot of noise. What are you wanting to do? Basically, are you wanting to sync up with Griffey, or are you wanting to stay down here?
Reconnoitering with my teammate who should have followed the plan while I distracted everyone down here. So yeah, I look.
I'd say that guard is very distracted.
Yeah, I did my part. You're welcome. I grabbed if there's any part of a key card left that I can find without getting my hands too dirty.
Ring of keys. This is anachronistic because it is a museum.
All right, I pick those up. I start twirling them around my finger, doing a little whistly whistle. I go up and I push the elevator button, and I just stand there, look over at a vase, give it a sniff.
Yeah. So you're
the
coming
smell
up
of
an
art
elevator.
and killing people. I love them both.
I love it. You're going up an elevator as you are covering a door as noise is coming your way, Griffey. So coming around the corner out of that museum exhibit, you start to see a figure in white military gear. What this person you see has a hand cannon that they're kind of just like pointing around the corner, and right past them you can see the glint of metal of another figure in white military gear hoisting a golden statue across their shoulder like a burden. What do you do?
I open fire on the gun person.
Okay. Great. Like I said, you're going to get this at advantage because you have prepared this and they're walking right into your line of fire with a scattergun weapon.
Oh, shit. Well, does advantage mean I can roll again?
That's correct. There are two different for the home viewer. There are two advantage systems. Either you can do the traditional roll and get the best of two rolls, or you can do +3, -3 for advantage disadvantage. I'm doing the re-roll because that is what most people use.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And it's a good thing I did. That is a dirty 19. So with advantages, that's pretty good.
Fantastic. So you fire just point blank into this person as he's coming. Well, gender is uncertain at this point. Around the corner. Roll me damage.
Oh, what dice is that? Is that a D6 again?
For which your shotgun is going to be, I think, 3d6. Let me verify here. It is, and you are 3d6 if you're using your number 18 shotgun.
Yep.
It is that what you do? Okay.
First one's a 5. Second one's a 2 for 7, and then a 1 for 8 points total.
8 points of damage. So you fire at this figure, and you can see that again. They're wearing this kind of like military gear, and they give this loud like oomph sounds. You can hear like the sound of air being pushed out of their lungs, and there are pinpricks all the way across them that are just blossoming red. It didn't do as much damage as you think. Like this person must be like heavily armored, and the person like crumples just a bit as they are just kind of caught off guard by this. The person behind them like runs into them as they're holding this big heavy calf and you see this person has almost like a Fu Manchu wispy like mustache, they just look aghast as they see you. They see this person like bleeding, and they look behind them, and you hear them say, "What should I do? Boss has been hit." And the person's like, "Just fucking run, dumbass! I've got him." And you know that there are at least 3 people up here. As you have done your shot, this one person tries to bull rush past you, just like making nervous chittering sound the entire time, but carrying this like big golden calf, and sort of like running past you.
I got something for that.
Meanwhile, you hear.
Okay.
Yes, if you have a reaction, actually you would technically. This game does have, if you pass through the square, you would get a free attack. So yes.
Yeah, because I have a special melee attack I'd like to use, which is my do not draw fire, but body check. I think it's called. Or are you? Let's see.
That's your minor ability.
Shoulder charge. Yeah, my major. Special melee attack that can be used within 10 feet of an appropriate target. Any standing character that weighs no more than twice the weight of the soldier. Okay, roll a melee attack. If successful, target is knocked over and stunned. All right.
I think probably the spirit of the law is to have it be a full action, but I think in this case that makes appropriate sense, so I will allow it.
Okay, cool. And that's a 11. So let's see. It would be, blah, blah, blah.
And you're doing that with.
I think that's a strength check.
That's going to be strength check. Yes. So for you, that is +4, so that'd be 15. And that. Great. So are you knocking them flat prone in front of you, or are you sending them tumbling down the stairs? Because it depends which way you're throwing your shoulder.
I am going to just knock them flat down in front of me.
Okay. So this person is a lighter frame, and you slam them to the ground, and you also hear the thing, the whoomph sound as you knock the oxygen, like the air, out of their lungs, and the golden calf smashes to the floor, and you see 3 of its 3 sets of horns, 3 of them crumple, and it's like the face of this thing smashes into the side. And then it makes ping, ping, ping until it stops. And then you hear a voice coming behind you as a third person in this white armor says, "Ah, fuck, there goes our bonus." Ding! Elevator opens. And you see that Dusty is huffing some type of ancient Ming vase. His face is all the way in it, and he's got a giant Mars rifle and a sword. And you just hear this whoomph sound as he's huffing this vase.
I feel like the correct positioning would have been vase.
Is this sniffling? Is this sniffling? Would you say it's a tromble sniffling?
A tromble bit sniffling.
It's more like he's looking for tromfles, you know.
Snuffleupagus probably trombled.
So yeah,
you see
gun
this,
in one hand.
You see this milieu in front of you.
Motherfucker.
Poor Chris just showed up to watch the stream, and he has no idea what's been happening.
Where's Bridget? Why is it not saying anything? What's happening?
There's been a tornado. Sean and Bridget may be dead. We hope for their survival.
They're not dead. They're fine, everyone.
Okay, good. Power of positive thinking. So what do you do in the scene? You see that there is a person face planted. The statuette you're hired to pay is bouncing around the floor. There's a person wearing white armor that has blossoming pinpricks of red coming from it that are righting themselves and getting ready to arm a pretty intimidating arm cannon. And coming up from the side is another person that has a large some type of automatic rifle that looks like it's been aftermarketed a whole bunch and is beginning to come to like to bear it right towards your companion.
All right. Dusty would basically. I can't think of a witty one-liner. Brain fart. I came here to smell art and shoot or fuck no.
Well, that's perfect.
I came here to smell art and chew bubble gum, and drops the vase. You look like bubble gum, and then starts to unload on them.
Great. I want this to be the scene as there's a dramatic fight that's happening here with two. Well, you're slightly outnumbered. And for now,
faintly
meanwhile,
up the
your
stairs
friend,
we hear, I've been married a long time ago. Should come from where'd you go? Where'd you come from? Cotton Eye Joe.
So you
can't complete jump now.
Logan, you're out of your anesthesia. You finish, you get your home prescriptions and your PT. It looks like it's been Xerox 17 times. It's like this very hard to decipher set of exercise you're supposed to do to get your leg up in perfect form. And you tromble back to the museum to help your friends with the heist. What you see is a lot of SWAT vehicles just all the way around this. There are cyber mastiffs that are howling and like growling, and you hear the sounds of intense firefights as there were raids from the police through the various emergency exits of this building. And you realize that you've probably gotten here a couple hours too late, and you're not sure what's happening in there. But what is your witty closing dialogue as we kind of leave this as a
okay, got it.
Okay, tell me what's the closing scene for this.
Super tense. SWAT and cops are surrounding the building. Y'all killed a guard, y'all. Guards aren't real cops. They stick together, man. They stick together. Even though you were just an innocent man trying to sniff art, they freaked out and you had to shoot him. That's his fault. But as the cops are swarming, megaphone, oh, come on, we have the place surrounded, and on their cyber megaphones, you do hear in the distance, where'd you come from? Where did you go? Where'd you come from? As Corkscrew walks up to the police line. Do you need a hostage negotiator? I'm an expert.
I love this.
To black.
Yep.
You see ominously as the camera's fading to black that there are figures in white armor that seem to have what looks to be like your friends at gunpoint, maybe. And there is still like this sprawled form of this NFT trader that is being carted off on gurneys. And being
I would shoot him
extra...
twice.
With the utmost respected alpha male is deserved in this capitalistic society. A poor victim of this helpless crime as low caste citizens are trying to steal priceless heirlooms from the museum. All right, so that did not go as planned, and
what do you mean?
Mr.
I think my plan went pretty well. I distracted the guards, and while
I think we all were distractions.
Corkscrew did not fly in as intended. I think that was the only hiccup. That was the only thing wrong.
I decided that Okay, so full disclosure, Corkscrew was not bitten by a radioactive duck. He had penile replacement surgery. He wanted a bigger, more beautiful hog, and they gave him a corkscrew. Which is that's a service they offer. Some people love it, and if you do, that's great. But it's not what he ordered. The penis ballot was confusing. Anyway,
speaking of which, Bridget is safe. There was a tornado. That's why one of our hosts disappeared. She did suffer some property damage. Her fence has been ruined, but she herself is okay. So we're all very thankful. And climate change is real, y'all.
Yeah. So that was our game. We do have some announcements. I just want to give credit where credit is due. Thank you to Michael Scott, Samantha Song, Logan Stahl, and Ryder Tost for letting us play your cool game.
There's a
I
lot
also-
of great exhibits in the museum if you actually go through them to sniff and or
Why would
huff
anyone
great
do
art.
anything other than what we did? We honestly, we kind of pulled the perfect heist. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone else can play this game because we did it so good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Showed them how
Yeah.
to do it.
That's how you win.
That's how you win, indeed. D&D, a thing you can win.
Yeah.
It's just like therapy.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, it's exactly like therapy. I mean, Ian, when will you please subscribe me some pit meds? Please. So all this said, we had fun tonight. Obviously, we are sad that Bridget had to leave us, but we are overjoyed that she is safe and look forward to seeing her tomorrow. The rest of us chuckleheads were here. I do want to thank Bog Wizard for our intro and outro music, Purple Miasmic Smoke, which is the album. I'm all tongue twisted today. The song is Barbaria, which is a banger. Just to make you all jealous, their drummer sent me the audio recording they made of like them like, hey, I had an idea for a riff and just singing the riff. Which is how he does writing music, which is incredible and
Makes
amazing.
sense. That's such
It's
an
so
easy way to
good.
like get the concept down.
No, it's brilliant. But like he said that I was just like, I would frankly just listen to a full length LP of you just making guitar noises.
Actually, that'd be really cool.
Because it's a lot of fun. So we do have a few announcements to make. First, this Friday. That's Monster Truck speak, but WrestleMania is going to zap through time to run all over you, my friends. Lucas Mangum's Blade Job, a book about wrestling, blood sport, blood ritual, and time travel is out this Friday. This book is a long time. It's about a lot of stuff, but this book is a really long time coming. Lucas and I discussed this book back in 2019. So it has been a while coming, and I am so happy to see it being born. We have a pre-order open for Edward Lee's Backwoods, an erotic horror novel. I just spoke to Ed the other day, and he has asked us to also get it out there as an audiobook. So that will be coming soon. Another book that you may or may not have heard of is called He Led Us into the Wilderness and Spoke to Us. I, the bonehead publisher that I am, did have it misspelled on the website, on the Managed Heart Press website. So if you're looking for it, you can still find it there as He Led Us into the Wilderness and Spoke to Us. You can get it on Amazon. It's a fantastic book, and it is by our very own Charles R. Bernard.
Where's my copy? I
Cosmic
bought it 2 weeks ago.
Cults, like real history, real research. So definitely pick that up. It is incredible. We have 2 games currently in the works from Madness Heart Games. We're hoping to get those out really quickly, actually, because we're kind of wanting to take them to KillerCon. Speaking of KillerCon, my dudes, KillerCon is a incredible writing conference from the kind of niche corners of horror: splatterpunk, bizarro, extreme horror. We get a lot of different types of people doing a lot of different kinds of stuff, and a lot of y'all watch us for our role-playing game stuff. I will tell you, if you enjoy reading, find the indie book niche in your genre. I can tell you, since finding it, my entire definition of what horror is and can be has changed. There's incredibly cool authors. Wrath James White, who published Everyone Dies Famous in a Small Town through us, just dropped a new book that is I've been staring at the cover all day and I can't remember the name. He has a brand new book from Clash Books. Anyway, my point is that all of us gathered together, and KillerCon changed my life completely. Charles and I would have met still, but KillerCon is the game that, or the conference rather, that launched my career as both an author and a publisher. So if you have any interest in indie horror, if it's something you're interested in pursuing, understanding, exploring, come to KillerCon, killerconaustin.com. It's an incredible time, and it's an incredible place and family. And it is, I want to say, $99 for 3 full days of panels and events and the Splatterpunk Awards. We will be honoring
the 9th through the 11th in August.
11th through 12th, or sorry, 11th through 13th. There we
11th
go.
through 13th.
Yes, in August in Austin. There is a hotel. We have room rates, so go to the website. I will also have, I just got informed, a special limited edition poster for sale at KillerCon. I will probably sell them somehow later, but if you want to get them without dealing with the postage and you want to get signed by me in person, personalize all that shit, you're gonna have to come to the con.
Is this the very, very special poster I'm thinking of?
Yes, it is.
Ah, good. Excellent.
Yeah, and don't worry, I ordered one specifically for you.
Excellent.
Is this your nude centerfold? Because
Nope.
In a sense,
yeah.
In a sense, it's the nakedest a human being can be, you know.
Under the skin.
Yeah, exactly.
Under the skin.
Is it a picture of your testicle?
Yes.
The severed one, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it really? Because
yeah. So
that's
what
awesome. I didn't even know. I was just guessing.
Hold on, let me tell you.
It gets better.
Yeah. So I had my crazy tumor removed, and as I'm recovering from surgery, on high off my balls on Oxycontin, Jay Wilburn, may his memory for blessings, wife messaged me, was like, you know, Jay wrote a story within 24 hours of surgery.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, okay then. And so I wrote a story. It is related to the surgery. And I am printing that short story only in the form of collectible posters with the specimen cup with my severed testy inside it as the backdrop.
Yep.
Awesome.
They are numbered. They will be signed. I will let you know how you can get those when you can.
It's the kind of grisly, morbid shit that I just love. I'm actually going to put it on my wall.
I would love to hang that in my house, but I don't think my girlfriend would approve. But
Why?
Well, here's the
testes
nice.
belong on the inside, not the outside.
Not mine. This one killed me if I left
I
it
would
there.
like one for the baby room.
Here, I think that's good.
No, Mr. Paschke, please. I'm going to make it into a baby blanket for you.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Here's the nice thing about being footloose and fancy free the way that I am. There's no one to stop me, no matter how bad my ideas are.
No one. I want to point out that my daughter and my wife both applaud this.
Yeah.
Ed Lee loves it too. He asked for one. So look, hey, make your own decisions, but I will have testy posters available for sale in the future.
Take your pain and turn it into art. I will say that much.
You see what happens when Bridget's not here to fucking level us out?
She looks like a geoduck.
Friends, thank you so much for joining us on this ludicrous adventure we laughingly call Wandering Monster. My name is John Baldisberger.
I am Charles R. Bernard.
Ian SerVaas.
So
inside you.
After my grandfather passed away, the mantle of Mr. Paschke passed down to me and skipped my father. This was the largest insult to my family, as my Uncle Kevin is the oldest of my dad's siblings. That being said, it had to pass at least 2 other siblings before it skipped my dad to go to me. This, I must say, is why I am Mr. Paschke and not any of my uncles that are still alive. Or my cousin, Brett. That's right, Brett. I'm Mr. Paschke.
Yeah, fuck you, Brett. We will be back next week. If you can't wait that, don't worry, because Bridget knows a shortcut.
Yep.
Ooh.